Hiya folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans. And if you'd like more cartoon news and shenanigans, I'd ask you to please subscribe to my channel. In fact, do it right now so you don't forget about it later. And I thank you very much for that, guys. Today, we have some not great news. This is freaking YouTube just ruining more things as usual. What are they doing this time? They're removing the dislike ratio. See the number right here? See this number? How you can see how many dislikes there are? They're going to remove the counter. You're going to still be able to dislike a video, but you're not going to be able to see the dislike ratio. You're not going to be able to see how many dislikes did this get. And that is a really bad thing. It's really, really bad. And this is a cartoon news channel. Why am I talking about YouTube removing the dislike button being a bad thing? Because I watch a ton of trailers. I discuss these trailers, I react to these trailers, and one of the funnest things is seeing the dislike ratio or the like ratio. Do people love this cartoon? Do people dislike this cartoon? Or, animation, movie, whatever I happen to be watching at the time. And, do they have comments? Thank God, what's the next step for YouTube? Removing the comments section altogether? Jeez. But yeah, a lot of the trailers I watch have the comments completely disabled, and it's you don't get to talk about it, and it's so sad. And now they're gonna remove the dislike ratio, and we're gonna react to this. And you can already see here that the news is already making the rounds. It's November 10th. This is breaking news. I actually just saw this from the Quartering. He did a YouTube video just about this. And I wanted to talk about it too, because it's not a great thing. But we're going to read the comments here. We're going to, this could be like one of the last times I dislike a video, which I'm going to do right now because I don't like this change. And we're going to listen to what this guy has to say. I'm just going to flip the mirror. Let's mirror this so we don't get copyright claimed. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey folks, you may have seen a while back that YouTube announced it was experimenting with making dislike counts private to only the creator of the video. Now, if you're like me, you were surprised by that. I mean, I've always thought seeing the number of dislikes on a video helps us know as viewers if it's a good video or not, if it's a helpful tutorial or not, or if what a creator is saying in their video is generally agreed with or not. But unfortunately, research teams at YouTube have found there's this whole other use for disliking a video that I had never experienced as a creator.
So like the Quartering said in his video, this is all about the corporations. It's just they need to protect the corporations. Corporations launch all kinds of different trailers like Netflix and stuff. When people hate them, they dislike it. And, all these companies are probably just like squealing, oh no, people hate our thing. People hate our thing. It's damaging our brand. So they cry to YouTube, and YouTube goes, okay, let's do something about that. And now this is the excuse that they're going in. Apparently YouTube researchers are the ones are going to be taking the blame for this one on why the dislike button is being removed. I agree with the Quartering. This is all about saving face for god-awful corporations, putting out garbage, advertisements and, PSAs, those goddamn Steven Universe PSAs. Also, the Arthur. Who could ever forget the Arthur Black Lives Matter PSA? Yeah, why the hell does that exist? I don't know, but... they just make a lot of garbage PSAs nowadays for cartoons. Lord Almighty. But let's keep going here.
And you may not have either. Apparently, groups of viewers are targeting a video's dislike button to drive up the count, turning it into something like a game with a visible scoreboard. And it's usually just because they don't like the creator or what they stand for. That's a big problem when half of YouTube...
That's not true, because sometimes there are times when you watch a guide or something and the guide, doesn't deliver. It doesn't deliver. Also, sometimes on April Fools, let's just say, for example, some people put out news videos. Like, I'm a news channel, sort of. I don't... I talk about cartoons. Let's be real. I'm not like a real news organization or anything, but like... I talk about the cartoon news that's coming out. And sometimes people on April Fools, they put out videos that are fake. They have fake information and they're bad info, right? And a lot of people after April Fools, like 3 days later, 4 days later, see how it says new in the like, see how right here it says new. So people click that video, not realizing that it was April Fools. They watch a video and they might think it's real. And so by people downvoting it, or, you know, at least being able to talk in the comments, we could get an idea before we get in that this might be some bad info or this might be a bad take. I don't like the idea that it's like, oh, we're just ganging up on people because we don't like what they stand for. It does happen, though. It does happen. But this is not the answer here. What right now don't you have the option to just disable the like and dislike ratio? Why don't you just give people the option? I don't want my dislike ratio going away. Whenever I see people disliking my video, I say, oh, you know, maybe I said something really bad there that maybe I should have a little thinker on. Maybe I should, you know, think about what I said in that one, or, you know, figure out why do people not like that one video. And I just don't like, I don't like the idea that it's just now people can't see how much dislike it's getting. And one of the things also is that, are people going to use the dislike button after this all takes place, right? The dislike button is still going to exist, but when you press it, nothing happens, right? Look at here. Whenever I press this, you know, I could, because it's in the thousands, it only goes up by 1, right? It only goes up by 1, so you can't really see it because this is in the thousands. But, what, you know, if they take this away, are people even going to use the dislike button anymore? You know what I mean? So then creators start thinking that everything they're doing is more positive than it is. You know what I mean? I'm not liking what I'm seeing here.
His mission is to give everyone a voice. So earlier in 2021, YouTube experimented with making the public dislike count private to see if it would help reduce these coordinated dislike attacks across the platform. And after analysis, they did see a reduction.
There you go.
The update
Leave it
from
alone.
YouTube is that the dislike button is staying, but the
people can make it private. Just leave it alone, man.
Dislike counts will now be private. You can still dislike videos, and that action will be used to tune your own recommendations, but you won't be able to see the dislike count. Only the creator can find it on the back end if they want.
Very stupid.
Now, a few common questions we saw from the initial experiment. First, without a public dislike count, how can viewers tell if a video is worth watching? Again, I kind of had this question too, but it turns out that while viewers might use the dislike count to give them a sense of a video's worth, when the teams looked at the data across millions of viewers and videos in the experiment, they didn't see a noticeable difference in viewership, regardless of whether they could see the dislike count or not. In other words, it didn't really matter if a video had a lot of dislikes or not, they still watched. Next common question, if creators can still see the dislike count on the back end, how's that any different? They can see it if they look for it inside Studio
Yeah,
Analytics.
but think about it. If people can't see the you know, every time you click this, it goes up by 1 or down. People are not going to be able. Actually, if I hover over it, does it say? It doesn't say the exact number. It only just tells me 9.7K. It used to. I think there were back in the day. Didn't it used to like tell you exactly how many numbers or how many exactly? But yeah, if people can't see how many dislikes it has, fewer people are going to use this, and you won't be able to actually tell if people really, really dislike your videos. That's what my thought process is here. I'm not a fan of this.
Analytics under the engagement tab. But overall, it's much less likely to cause stress and embarrassment if the count isn't visible to the public.
Heaven forbid the butter biscuits cry. You know, like Jesus. Stress and embarrassment. Well, if you made a crappy video that people hate, I mean, you know, what can you do? Like, you just have to man up and take it. Like, what the heck?
And one more common question, is this because YouTube Rewind got lots of dislikes?
Yes it is. Yes, it is. All they want to do is protect corporations.
No.
Like themselves.
There are some teams internally who have learned the hard way what it feels like to get lots of dislikes. Now, this again is about protecting all creators and making sure they have a chance to succeed and feel safe in doing so. All right, so that's the update. I hope it doesn't cause too much frustration.
It does.
Honestly, I think you're going to get used to it pretty quickly, and keep in mind other platforms.
You're going to get used to it pretty quickly because you're forcing it on us. Like, Jesus Christ, these people.
Don't even have a dislike button. So consider that. Thank
you. Did he just say that other platforms don't even have? Oh my God. This is the number one. Like, Google and YouTube are literally the number 1 and 2 search engines in the world. This is the one that everybody's looking up to. You can't just say other platforms like, God, YouTube's knockoffs, like Dailymotion doesn't have a dislike button. I don't even know. It's been years since I've been on Dailymotion. What's another one? Rumble. I think Rumble actually has a dislike button. But you can't just compare this like apples to apples to some of these other platforms that are like lesser known. Holy crap, man. What an awful take.
Consider that. Thank you, and I hope you're well.
Awful. So yeah, guys, let's read some of these comments though. We got to read the comments. We absolutely have to read some of these comments really quick. So here, this is him. This is the guy that was YouTube creators. The dislike button is staying, and no plans to change that. But the number of dislikes on a video, i.e. the dislike count, which is this, will no longer be visible to your viewers on the video's watch page. For both videos and live streams, below are a few facts. We'll keep this pinned comment updated with more top answers, so please share more questions in the comments section below. Creators, you'll still be able to find your exact dislike counts in the YouTube studio. But like I've said, if you hide the option to show the count for the dislike, how many people are actually going to use it if they feel like it doesn't work? You know what I mean? It's such a bad take here. Just Stop. What a great name. There is no worse decision YouTube could possibly make. The community doesn't want this. I agree. Don't act like they do. The dislike bar is a necessary component, and you can see by this video, people aren't having it. Exactly. Just by one glance, you could tell that people they don't want this. If they remove this counter, I don't know what people are thinking off the top of their mind on this. You know what I mean? And sometimes you don't have all the time in the world. You can't sit through a 3-minute long video. Well, I mean, that's pretty short, but other times there's videos that are very long. And by seeing a dislike ratio, you get an idea. I'm not going to watch this all the way to the end, So let's see here. Sal C1, give the creator the option. They already do. You can make it private. Don't force this for the whole platform. Edit. I love how at the end he uses the bandwagon fallacy. Other platforms don't even have a dislike. Exactly. YouTube is like the number 2 search engine in the world. Everybody else looks up to YouTube. So when you're pulling this shit, you can't like punch down at the other, you know what I mean? The other platforms. Get the hell out of here. Is this an out of season April Fool's joke? Unfortunately, it isn't, but I will give you a thumbs up because that's pretty funny. Ironically, Ashke Karthik. Ironically, the like-dislike ratio on this video proves why it needs to stay the way it is. Exactly. Ilko here says, remove the exact subscriber number. Remove the dislikes. What's next? Removing the I literally said that when I was watching the video. I think they're gonna eventually. They're probably gonna make a way to like somehow hide half of the bad. No, they're gonna have YouTube. They're gonna create an algorithm that looks for any bad words, like anything that's like fake bad, and they're gonna make it so you can hide any of the bad comments. They're gonna do something like that, some kind of negativity comment selector or something like that. They're gonna make some bullshit. Important. So dislike counts were essential to spot scams. I agree. That's one thing. I didn't even touch on that. Scams. There's all kinds of scams. Fake and bad tutorials. Yep. Clickbaits. Yeah. Clickbaits. And especially important as a tool to fight back against the horrible mega corporation. And again, you know that they want to support all those mega corporations because they pay the bills with the ads that they run. Announcements such as Nintendo Switch Online. Yeah, Nintendo Switch Online was awful. This is terrible. I make tutorials I make tutorials or work hard to make sure people like them. Now people will be able to publish junk and no one will know until they have hours invested into it. Yeah, I agree, Tyler Moore. Tyler Moore, I think that sounds familiar. I don't know why. Suleiman the Magnificent. That's a pretty cool name. I love how YouTube basically ignores everything we actually want. No one asked for this. Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Research shows that YouTube's business partners don't want people disliking garbage contents. This is exactly it. Ario Lab makes a great point. Like I've said, basically businesses don't like people disliking their, they don't want their businesses to have any negativity towards the brand name. And this is all for the corporations. This is not for the creators. They might as well just remove the U in YouTube and replace it with corporate tube. That's what this has become, corporate tube. So yeah, I think I've read enough here. What's this about George R.R. Martin? Tomato. When you tear out a man's tongue, you are not proving him a liar. You're only telling the world that you fear what he might say. George R.R. Martin. That's a great quote. I think I butchered it by stuttering, but great quote. I've seen this quote a whole bunch, and that's a great quote. That's all from me. I really dislike the fact that they're removing this, and it's sad to see. I don't want to see it go down like this, but YouTube just is going to do whatever the hell they want, and they don't actually give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about you, which is really sad to see, especially on a platform called YouTube. They have a tendency not to listen to you. So yeah, that's it for folks. Please like, please share. I mean, you're not going to be able to see the dislikes soon, so oh god. Anyways. So yeah, if you feel like disliking this video, go bananas. How much longer are you going to be able to see the dislike count? God only knows, but seems like it's coming pretty soon. So that's that. Let me know all your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below. And please subscribe to the channel. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I'd really appreciate it if you subbed. The end. Bye-bye.